Thank you for joining the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the program, Kwankwaso cancels visit to Kano as APC crisis in the state worsens. Power grid collapses 6 months in 8 days as epileptic power supply persists. And later on the program, Oshibajo, Tinubu, Atiku pay tribute to late Alex Ekwueme. Say he was committed to Nigeria's unity. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Wahid Bakari, and Olayinka Oyegbile. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. 2019 general election is almost here, and it seems the cracks in the wall of the All Progressive Congress in some states are beginning to show. Now, on January the 27th this year, Kano State Commissioner for Police, Rabi Yusuf, advised Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, a former governor, that two-time governor of the state, and a stalwart of the All Progressive Congress, to share his planned visits to the states. The police chief said a security report showed that it might lead to political arrests. For a politician of his clouts, the piece of advice was dismissed with a wave of the hand. He insisted on the visits, but the presidency was quick to step in. It summoned the governor of Kano State, that is Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, and the senator to douse the brewing tension in the state. A few hours to the senator's visit, an emergency press conference was called and the visit was cancelled. What is really going on in Kano State? Babajide, key points. In Kano State was the only state that produced a deputy governor that turned into a governor.
Yes.
In 2015. Key points. The former governor is now representing Kano Central, federal constituency. And the last time he came there was when he went to commiserate with the mother of the incumbent governor. Yes. That is Abdullahi Ganduje. And we know the bloody, how it turned bloody. Now, is it right, first of all, for the police to give a security report to say, Mr. Senator, if you go ahead with this, your planned visits, number one, he has not been there for like close to 3 years. Yes. If you go ahead with this, your planned visits, you might there might be a breakdown of law and order. He's going to his constituency. He's representing his people. He's going to his home. And that police advice, is it not a political advice?
No. It was a very good advice. Because let us look at it this way. The governor of Kano State had lined up some political events. You will have read in the papers or seen on TV the defection of Senator Lado from the PDP to the APC. It was a big event. They had lined up these political events.
Is it before Kwankwaso zone?
Yes. They lined them up, submitted the itinerary to the Commissioner of Police. Now, Kwankwaso, who had not visited Kano for almost 3 years, when Kano lost one of his most illustrious sons, Yusuf Maitama Sule, he didn't visit Kano. When they had the greatest fire incident in the history of Kano State, he didn't visit Kano. He now said that he was coming to campaign for people for the local government election and that he will stop at Corner Dangora. There's no way, if you know Kano very well, there's no way that it will not lead to a clash, because already the governor and his people had a plan to have their rally in the same area.
That's Corner Dangora, yes?
Yes. You come in, it's on Zaria Road. You are coming from Zaria, coming into Kano. So they had politically lined up for that time. And in that area, Secondly, let's not even go into all that. Remember that Kwankwaso's group refused to agree, refused to even recognize the leadership of the APC that emerged through their Congress. So as we speak, he does not have any candidate taking part in the local government election because his own candidates, since they've chosen not to recognize that candidate, that the SIEC in the state recognizes, because it's the leadership of the party that will present candidates to SIEC. He has no candidate taking part in any local government election. So who is he coming to campaign for? He has no candidate. Who is he coming to campaign for? If I submit my itinerary to the government, to the police, that on so days we are having political rallies, you now want to hold your own event the same day, and we know that these people have been clashing. Their supporters have been attacking one another. Remember what happened at the Emir's Palace during this Hawan during the Salah, this Doba that they were attacking the governor, they were abusing the governor, and the governor supporters descended on them. Because when Shekara was governor, it was the same pattern. Thugs will be unleashed, they will be insulting the governor, violence was common. So these people made up their minds not to allow this to happen this time. So because it had happened earlier, so they attacked them. Now the police know that if this man comes into town, and I thank him for agreeing to not come in at this time, because they know that if he should come into town, there will be bloodshed. No doubt about it. And today, because you see the Kwankwaso people, I don't know what his plan is. They call themselves Kwankwasia. They don't even call themselves APC members anymore. I saw the president.
The movements.
Yes, Kwankwasia. I saw the president received him the other day. I was looking at the president. Because you are receiving a man that one of his legs already out of your party. Because he knows. Already now in Kano, people are jostling for his senatorial seat. Because they know that based on what's going on, it's not likely to get that ticket.
He's not even interested in getting the ticket.
So but if he fails to get the presidency, then he may think, okay, let me return to the Senate. So they call themselves Kwankwaso, and they attack APC members all the time. So I do not even see why. I think that he's just looking for the appropriate time to leave the APC. That's the way I see him. And frankly, you said earlier that, that he was the only one who allowed his deputy to succeed him. But he was forced by party leaders to pick Ganduje.
Can you enlighten us?
Okay, I will start from 2003. In 2000, they lost in 2003.
Yes.
Both of them, they lost as a group.
Yeah.
They lost to Shekarau. Yeah. In 2007, it was Garuba Bichi, whom Obasanjo later made Minister of Commerce, that he supported. It was Garuba Bichi. He didn't support Kwankwaso. Now, when both of them came in 2011, what did Kwankwaso, he didn't support Ganduje. What did Kwankwaso say? Kwankwaso said they will both retire from politics the same time. He didn't support Ganduje
to succeed him.
It was one of his commissioners at that time, I think Kabir, that he supported. He wanted Kabir to succeed him. But party leaders went to government house, led by the former chairman of Kabo local government, who is now the commissioner for local government in Kano. And they told him that if we do not pick Ganduje, because Ganduje as deputy governor was in charge of the local government and chieftaincy affairs, and he had been oiling
his machinery. Yes,
he was not aware of this. So party leaders said, no, this is the person that you must choose. Otherwise, we'll leave the party for you and we'll make sure the party loses. So he eventually succumbed and allowed Ganduje to support him. He did not attend a single Ganduje rally.
Really?
Yes. He did not attend a single Ganduje rally.
At what point in time, why was Ganduje wearing that cap, the red cap, the Kwankwaso?
They've been wearing it. It was a symbol of the group.
He was a member.
He was a member of the group. You were deputy to the man. You support him.
Key into his vision.
Yes, but you remember even when the House of Assembly said, "Look, this man does not like us," and the members of the House began to throw away their red caps. The governor still continued to use it. The governor still continued to use it. You know, the House. The House moved against Kwankwaso at some point.
This project.
So the truth is, Ganduje and this man had seen themselves as rivals for a long time. From the primaries that led to their emergence in 1999. Because Ganduje was Commissioner for Works under Oneya. He had resources. He had resources. When they looked at the situation, he was likely to emerge as the candidate. So they opted for consensus and then told him to be his deputy.
Waheed, what is spectacular about Kano politics? Because even the presidency, everybody, you know, is kind of interested in Kano State. And if you see what Kano returned in 2015, that was, you know, I think that was as far as me I'm concerned, immediately I got the result of Kano, I just said it is over. Kano returned 1.9 million votes. And by the time they started counting other votes from the Southeast and everything, it couldn't. What makes Kano spectacular?
You have said it all. You know, the number of electorate that we have in that part of the country is quite massive and is the highest you can think of in any part of the country. You recall that of recent, when the president visited Kano State and he saw the massive crowd, he was so elated to the extent that he said, with this kind of crowd, you know, that has come out today to welcome me, to send a very strong signal to the opponent that, look, if I still have the backing of these people, it is almost guaranteed that my second term, you know, will come to be. You will recall that, now let me take it from where GD also stopped. You know, I think I like the way the Commissioner of Police, you know, actually gave the advice and eventually Kwankwaso agreed. You recall that on January 13, on their way to separate wedding, they were going to, I'm talking of the supporters now, they were going to separate weddings, you know, and it's not as if they were going to the same venue. They met along the road and, you know, we all knew what happened.
Turned bloody.
No, you cannot imagine what will have happened if you are not talking of a political rally that thousands of people will gather. And you know, we all know the strength and limitation of the police. You know, what will they do if
Kano is large?
Kano is so large, and Kano is one of the flashpoints, whether we like it or not, in the north. If anything little happen, it can snowball into major crisis, and it may be difficult for the police to contain it at that point in time. So for them to have, you know, come out with this kind of strategy, asking the Kwankwaso not to visit at a point in time, I think it's a wise advice. And it's also good that he also accepted. Because you know that even the governor, as the chief executive officer, cannot even claim to have absolute control of security situation in that country because of the way we operate in this part of the world. You know, in paper, is the chief executive officer of the state. So you also recall that of recent, you know, Kogi governor was to go to somewhere, and even as the governor that you cannot go there, you know, and he also agreed. So I think it's a good development.
Yinka, why is it that different states now, a former governor, there's a tendency to have this, you know, problem with his successor in office? I can cite states, especially in the Southeast and all around, that immediately with the successor, whether you support the successor you appointed, most of the time, the successor you appointed, now GD has clarified the fact that it wasn't Kwankwaso that actually didn't support him and everything. So, but why do we keep having this kind of problem?
It shows clearly that the democracy we practice is not really a true democracy. Because now, a governor has finished his term.
In the same party?
In the same party. After 2 terms, you finish your term, you went to the Senate as a retirement base, and you also want to continue to dictate what happens in the
party
states.
machinery.
You want to run the party machinery. When you are the governor, you insisted that as the governor, the party machinery must belong to you. Now you are no longer the governor. You still want to hold the party machinery. So what does that mean? What does that signify?
The leader of the party.
Exactly. What does that signify? But you see, in actual fact, what I've seen in this business or in this, what has happened clearly here is that the APC has still not got its acts together. The party is still behaving. It shows that it is not a tea party to be an opposition party, and being in government does not mean that everything is fine. Because as it is now, if that party had been an organized party and is supposed to be a party in the real sense of the word, in 1979, will anything like that happen in UPN? Will it happen in NPN? Will it happen in NPP? No, it will not happen. The party chairman will have summoned the two of them and give them a marching order, and everything will die down. But what do we have now?
It happened between Awolowo and his
exactly.
successor.
So what do we have? But what do we have now? Do we have a party chairman who is just perhaps a figurehead, or who is just there? Nothing happens. The party chairman says this, and party member dismiss him. And the party machinery is not even strong enough to call all these people to order that, look, this is going against the rule of our party. Now, if Kwankwaso were to belong to a different party, we will say, oh, it's intolerance, this, and that. But they belong to the same party. When Kwankwaso, the first time, Ganduje was his deputy. When he lost to Shekarau, he was compensated as a minister in Abuja. He went with the same Ganduje.
Defense minister.
Exactly. He was with him. He worked with him. When Shekarau finished his 2 terms, he came back again to contest.
Did he do
Yeah,
2
he
terms?
did 2 terms.
Okay.
So after 8 years, they came back again, contested. I mean, if it were to be another governor or something, he would have chosen another. But we have a background to why Ganduje was chosen now. But even at that, if you have worked with a man 4 years as governor, another 8 years or so as when he was minister, you were together, and then you came back again to be his deputy. No matter the fault, the problem that the man must have, there must at least have been some inkling that, look, let us resolve this matter. Why is it that they can't call themselves together and say, oh, look, because of the party and because of our electorate, we must not allow this to fester. But what is happening?
Babajide, ordinarily you would think the president as the leader of the party and the likes of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and John Oyegun, because he's the chairman, in this kind of glaring situation, they will call these gladiators to order. But looking at the relationship between Mr. President and Kwankwaso himself, we remember before the 2015 election, it was rumored that the Mr. President is not, so munchy with Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso. Can you shed more light?
I think that it's not every dispute that can be resolved. Kwankwaso as a person does not forgive.
Again?
It's very similar to Obasanjo and President Buhari. They find it difficult to forgive. Now, you see, if you know Ganduje has been mismanaged by Kwankwaso. Because Ganduje is a gentleman.
Mismanaged.
You see, he could have handled this man in a way that there won't be crisis. But because he wants to be the leader of the party, remember that first crisis between them, the complaint of Ganduje's supporters was that this man wants to remain the leader of the party, whereas he had ceased to be governor. Don't forget, Shekarau literally brought APC to Kano.
I remember.
Shekarau literally, but because of this
arrangements New PDP.
Yeah.
Because of the overbearing nature of Kwankwaso, he had to leave the party for him.
When they were coming from PDP.
Yes. He had the legwork and all that for the registration of the party in the state. Shekarau handled. But Kwankwaso is not the sort of person who would want to play second fiddle to you. That's the problem about his kind of politics. So he was boasting that...
Needed to be fair now.
He was boasting about what?
As in, this has always been his deputy. We expect that after 8 years, he will graduate to be the party leader. Is that not being fair?
No, it's not in all cases, especially when people realize what you can use that power to do. Don't forget, this is a man that refused to pick you as candidate. You know, the structures of the PDP in Kano State after 2003 remained effectively with Kwankwaso. When people like Rimi left the party, Abubakar Rimi, they left the party, he was the one, he remained with PDP and built the PDP, made PDP strong. Now, when it came to election in 2007, he refused to pick Ganduje. He picked him reluctantly as deputy in 2011. And he didn't want him to succeed him. He went for Kabir. He's one of his commissioners. So I've laid the foundation for conflict. Ganduje knows in his heart of hearts that a person who rejected him twice cannot be described as his best friend. I don't know where things went wrong between them. But the fact is, his decision not to want him to succeed him until party leaders forced his hand must have made Ganduje to say, oh, this is a turning point in the relationship between me and this man. Meanwhile, this same Ganduje, when it was apparent that he was going to win, party leaders said, no, step down for this person.
For Kwankwaso then?
Yes. So he felt he had done him a favor in the beginning so that he became governor. So whatever I did later, made him deputy or made him his essay in Abuja, he felt he had handed it because he could have said, okay, let us contest. But they went for the consensus option. So I believe that not wanting him to succeed him was the turning point in their relationship.
All right, I have Sule from Kano, a journalist based in Kano, to shed more light on this. Hello, Sule.
Yes, Ayo, good evening.
Good evening, Sule. Nice to have you on. What is the bone of contention within the All Progressive Congress in Kano State?
Yes, it's a very interesting scenario playing out in Kano, actually, Ayo. You see, this is someone who has sent away, APC initially, that was actually brought to Kano by Shekarau. Kwankwaso, because he was a governor, when he decamped to APC, he was now given the leadership of APC. In fact, he drives away Shekarau from the party. Now, because he was a governor, he was made the leader of the party. After going to the Senate, he now doesn't want the person sitting on that seat to be the leader of the party. At the beginning, he said, look, I have made you a governor. You must give me the secretary to the state government. You must give me the commissioner of finance. You must give me the accountant general. And Ganduje conceded. He gave him secretary to the government of the state government, Rabiu Suleiman Bichi, who is the leader of the Konkosia movement. He gave him the accountant general. He gave him 3 commissioners. He conceded to all his demands, yet he doesn't want this man to live in peace. You see, you are trying to relate this issue with the Lagos On. Lagos On is entirely different. Tinubu never interfered in the governance of Lagos State. That's why he never had problem with the governors. But this is someone who is, he has finished his tenure, but yet he wants to be calling the shots.
Okay, Sule.
So,
Now,
yes.
I wanted to ask you that I was told that this Kwankwaso's visit, the Butch visit, that he had already indicated, sent a letter to the Commissioner of Police well ahead, that it was an afterthought for the government of Kano State to organize this, the meeting for today.
No.
Who came first?
You see, this is a movement. They don't have candidates. You are talking of elections. You know, local government election is coming on the 10th of February, next month, on the 10th. So they refuse to recognize the leadership of APC in Kano. As such, they did not have candidates for that election. Whereas the government has already advertised that they are going for campaign in the 3 senatorial zones of the state. It was advertised already because they have candidates for that election. But the Kwankwaso movement, they don't have candidates because they refuse to recognize the leadership of the party that will facilitate their candidates to contest for local government elections. So, if you said you are coming to Kano for campaign, for who? An election that you don't have candidates for. So what are you coming for? Is it to cause trouble or what?
Sule, how formidable is the structure, this Kwankwaso structure in Kano State today?
Well, it's true. He has his own followership. But the issue is government is a government. When there is a government in place, you must recognize that, yes, there is a government in place. When he was there, I remember the President Buhari, who was the president, was coming with Chuba Okadibo to Kano for a rally, ANPP rally. He refused them. They blocked the stadium. That was when Chuba Okadibo was Tiaga. When he was a governor. Now, somebody as a governor, you don't want him to dictate what to happen in his state, at least as per security issue. He is the chief security officer of the state. And moreover, the antecedent of this man is that whenever he is coming with talk. So whoever that is sitting on that seat certainly must be afraid if this man is coming because he is bringing trouble to the town.
Thank you, Sule. Thank you for your intervention. Gentlemen.
So it looks as if there must be something must be done. Must the governor always control the party machinery in the state?
Okay.
What happens to the chairman?
You can let me just pause you and quickly take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more. We're still on the crisis within the All Progressive Congress in Kano State. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Journalist Hangout, your groundbreaking program of the year. We're reaching you live from Television Continental here in our headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. Now, Yinka, before we took that break, you were explaining.
I was saying, something had to be done about this issue. If, as the party leader, you are the governor and you have the luck to run out 2 terms, and you now went to the Senate to do your retirement there.
So you can't aspire to be a godfather.
Why will you still want to hold on to the party leadership in the state? Your base basically then becomes Abuja. The man that is in and out, who wakes up and sleeps every day in the state, is the governor. So if you held the post for 8 years, why don't you release the leadership of the party to the man that is there? And then, I know it is not that easy. Exactly, I know it is not that easy.
It's 2003.
But there must be a way. I mean, Nigeria is not the only country where we play politics. I mean, it is very, very, sometimes I find it demeaning that we are even discussing this kind of thing. Because in other climes, will a senator want to visit his own constituency and the police will say no?
That
It won't happen.
looking at it from the surface.
But the way we are, if we have diminished everything political has become something else. Anything that comes to Nigeria changes. So we begin to see each other as enemies. People who are friends today, because of politics, they become enemies tomorrow. Why is it that they are doing like this?
You know, as long as we continue to play the kind of policies we play here, that's largely depend on money, you know, we continue to have this kind of problem. I think the best way out for us to start playing policies of ideology, you know, because if you look at it in all the states of the federation, it is the governor that wants to assume leadership of the party for simple reason of the fact that when it's come to bringing out the money,
Keep himself
you know,
yes.
bringing out the money is the governor that can really bring
Patronage,
out,
patronage.
you know,
He has the
he has the purse, then he has the political power. He can say, okay, I'm giving you, these are the position I'm sharing out.
Yeah.
Because of that fact, you know, a lot of people now see him as the leader, whether you like it or not. Yes. There's nothing anybody can do about it until when we change that concept. As long as we continue to do that, we continue to have the problem of Godfather versus Godson, you know, in Nigerian politics. And it's quite embarrassing.
It's difficult if we look at example of what happened between Bukola Saraki and his dad. You see clearly that the governor, it's difficult to wish a governor away in a state when it comes to running the ruling party. But Bukola Saraki's dad was in charge of politics for so long before I was born.
Yes.
But the moment his son became governor, his son began to reach out to the same people who had for years been the
loyal.
foot soldiers
Of his
of
father.
his dad. And before the election, when his dad clearly wanted Bukola's sister, I told my boss then, Bayo Nonoga, I said, this guy would defeat his dad. He said, no, it's unheard of. It has never happened.
Because of what happened.
Kwara,
If you
it
remember,
has never
before
happened.
Bukola, that took on Lawal.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Seated Lawal. But the difference is that Bukola had inherited his dad's
father's-
structure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
By constantly oiling that structures,
Yeah.
he was also testing the popularity of the foot soldiers of his dad. Sometimes he would call meeting and he would see that those guys were warming up to him. So by the time his dad wanted, because he was the one who had the money,
Oh, yeah.
by the time his dad wanted to move against him, what did Bukola do? Bukola, beyond just financing those guys, oiling the structures, Bukola said, okay, this time around, let's go for power shift.
Okay.
That power shift was what made sure that his
I
dad lost the
have,
election.
I have Misal from Kano. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mokhtar. I'm sure you want to talk about Kano.
Yes, and I'm a Kano man, so I think I know some of the serious issues.
Please tell us.
Yeah. One thing that we should understand is that in Nigeria, especially in APC, we don't practice true democracy. If we are practicing true democracy, we cannot say that a governor in a state is alpha and omega. That's the greatest mistake. And whenever there is a crisis, the chairman of APC should go into that state, settle that crisis for the interest of the party to continue on the leadership. That is one. Two, I think Kwankwaso and Ganduje are true friends. But those people that surrounded Ganduje are political mediocres that want to benefit from this leadership of Ganduje. Ganduje has been very good. He has been loyal to Kwankwaso. And Kwankwaso knows that Ganduje is his man. Unfortunately, those that surrounded Ganduje are not true friends of democracy. Because Ganduje has, Kwankwaso had already submitted his plan to come to Kano. As a native of Kano, as in Kano, as a governor who served his state for 8 years, for somebody to come and say, don't come to your state, I think there's a great injustice. It could have been said, one, for peace funding.
Thank you, Mukhtar. I know we have interests, yes. There must always be two people at the two sides of the divide, because you can't wish the Kwankwaso movement away, and at the same time...
You can't wish the Ganduje people to aside.
Jide, I'm still interested in the intervention of the presidency and are they in any way, how will I put it?
You see,
Are they
Ayo, let's not bother ourselves. When entrenched interests are at play, you can't resolve disputes. Let me give you the example of P Square. Those guys. P Square decided that they were going to break up. Atiku intervened. They didn't agree. Africa's richest man,
Aliko
Dangote intervened. In fact, one of them walked out on him.
Those borders?
Yes. Till today, one of the wives tried to tell the husband that, look, let's resolve this thing. People will think it's wives that split two people up. The way the husband reacted, the wife had to beat a retreat. So you should ask yourself that people who came from the same loins, they were born of the same mother and father.
And twins.
Yet, many big people in this country, big people,
Who
try to
ordinarily
resolve
would
them.
not even have business to intervene.
Yes, try to resolve the dispute among them, and they refused.
Who admire them?
Even
like
when their
twin.
contracts were on the line,
They refused, though.
refused.
Nobody has been able to reconcile those three boys.
So that group is gone, effectively.
They are gone.
They're gone.
Gone.
Even
They are
though
doing,
if
one
you
of
go
them.
solo.
One of them just launched a
Mr.
clothing line the other day. Clothing line. When you have all that talent to sing, well, that is by the way. The truth is, Mr. President cannot resolve this matter because Kwankwaso wants to be president. Kwankwaso has been
wants that
holding.
seat.
You see, Kwankwaso has been holding meetings. He's been meeting people across parties. He can't deny because God is watching us. I say things
Across
that I know are true. He's been meeting. God is watching me because I'm not lying. He wants to become president. So
Which is legitimate.
it's legitimate. As far as he's concerned, that position that Buhari is occupying, he's interested. He thinks he can do the job better. And there are people who think that he's better than the man who is there. So
Natural.
as long as he has that goal, the man who is the governor in Lagos, Kano State, who wants to show the president that, look,
I'm
I'm
loyal.
110% loyal. Remember, he organized prayer for Buhari the other day.
Buhari was sick.
When Buhari was sick, and he
called
got people
Buhari.
to. Now, that man will want to show that, look, Mr. President,
I'm behind
look,
you.
I'm behind you, and this person who is interested in your position, I will do whatever
They did
I
to
can't
crush
to
him.
stop
to
it.
crush him,
contain
to destroy him politically. All that they are doing, because you can see that even the Ekwueme has been saying, where is the national chairman in all of this? The national
bigger
chairman
than
will not intervene. As far as they are concerned now, the greatest news that people in the presidency, especially the bearded minister who was sharing, the greatest news they want to hear
Is that the man
is that
has left-
Kwankwaso
has
has
left
ported to another party.
Yeah.
That's what, the day they hear that, the jubilation in Aso Rock,
How?
the jubilation in Aso Rock will be great because they are just waiting, let him go, so that he will no longer constitute a threat to the president. So that is the thing. I don't see any, I think Kwankwaso himself knows where the problem stems from.
Yeah.
Because today on the BBC Hausa service, he told Ibrahim Yakase that he knows that the presidency is behind
The crisis.
the decision of the police to tell him not to come into Kano. He was saying that one have been Ankulashi Dagapadin Shugaban Kasane.
What's the meaning of that?
He said this whole trouble
is from the
that
presidency emanates.
emanates from the.
Okay, let me take Alassane. Alassane is calling us from the same Kano. I think I have my maximum audience. Oh, lost Alassane. Just try anybody from Kano that you want to chip in one or two things.
Ankulashi Dagapadin Shugaban Kasane. That they planned this from the presidency. So he's already taken on the president.
Wow. Where do we go from here?
Well,
Why can't he wait and why can't he challenge the president in a primary, APC, since they are both in APC and waits? And
No, he has done it before. The president defeated him. So
I think
We didn't
he
even
was,
expect
he
it.
was second behind
He
the...
was second.
Yeah, he
we didn't
was.
expect him to be
He
second.
was
second.
Yeah,
We thought
exactly.
Atiku was going to be second.
Yeah.
Was third.
Yeah.
So that also
Might
tells
be
you that
one of
he
the
also,
reasons,
he also
Thinks
has
he's popular.
he also has his own political followers. There is no
he's
doubt
strong.
about it. You know,
No
he's
doubt
also a
about
strong contender. You know, I think as long as it won't be a spoiler for APC, like Jide said, the only thing that will interest them is for him to be out of the way now, because
You'll be praying
you
for
can't
him
say
to
that
go.
somebody who came second behind the president
At a time like this, when people are not angry.
cannot be a threat. It's a big threat. You know, I think that's why it's also
Winning
saying that
Atiku at that time.
winning Atiku at that time. You know, Almighty Atiku that we thought was even going to be second at worst case scenario.
Defeated him.
You know, he defeated him
Even,
at that point in time.
even the candidates from Adamawa State, I mean, the delegates from Adamawa State
Voted
voted
for
for
Kwankwaso.
So that shows
Instead
that
of,
he's
I
also a
have
strong
Israel.
contender.
Israel is calling us from River State. Oh, we lost Israel.
So, like I said, it's a strong force to be reckoned with. You know, if they can find a way to resolve it, fine. But I doubt it, because interest is involved here. You know, interest is involved here. You know, we have a governor that want to prove to the whole world that look, this man has no electoral value.
I'm loyal, sir.
You know, and I'm loyal to your presidency. You know, and this person, you know, has
Was
been
among
hiding
the
your,
7 governors.
has been hiding your.
Of course,
the
yeah.
other
Who
one.
went
Kogi
to
State
act-
governor and El-Rufai.
So that's all the situation.
I don't know why you are adding. If El-Rufai and others even go to the president to endorse the president, the president by now should realize that certain people shouldn't even be mentioned with him in
with
the same
him
sentence.
in his company.
You know? So Kogi governor going to endorse the president.
He has already
Where
said
is
the
that
number of
coming
votes
from?
that are going to
El-Rufai
return
came
for
out
the
to say
governor.
that they were misquoted. You saw that. He said they were misquoted. You know, normally...
I was even hearing. Let me pick Esther's call.
Oh, that's nice. A lady.
Thank you for joining us, Esther.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Esther from Plateau Jos.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good.
Okay, my take on this Kwankwaso and Ganduje issue. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, you can hear. Keep talking, don't wait.
Okay. My take on their issue is, I feel Kwankwaso is a threat to APC. And then Ganduje knows that, because I could remember when Buhari won 2015 election. That was when Kwankwaso declared his intention of his presidential ambition, which stirred up crisis in Kano. He wanted to stir up crisis in Kano. And then I feel that Buhari has nothing to play in this. It is both for Ganduje and Kwankwaso. They have to resolve the issue. I mean, they are both in the same party. Yes. They should put their heads together. Find out okay, Kwankwaso was one time a governor in Kano State. Now I'm not a serving senator. Why can't he just advise on issues at hand, rather than setting up crisis and trying to play a grand role in the whole issue? It is not supposed to. It is only in Nigeria that things like this happen, and it's not supposed to be.
Thank you, Esther. I think if you've been following us, Esther, Jide answered that question. This is just a game that is interest-driven. This interest, it will take God to intervene before this crisis.
They will even argue with God.
He even made the illustration of the Peace Corps brothers. So when we're rounding off on this, gentlemen, and ahead of 2015, right 2019, right now, Ibrahim Musa Rabi Kwankwaso is just in between APC and PDP. At the point in time, it was even reported that some of his...
we have to go now.
Some of his lieutenants, they've crossed over to the People's Democratic Party. And I don't think those ones will just give them their tickets just like that, because there are a lot of gladiators in the PDP. So the political terrain for Kwankwaso, what's the best option? To stay within the APC or port to PDP to get the presidential ticket?
If he stays in PDP, APC, he will never get the ticket.
He will never.
He will never get the ticket. He knows that already. So the best bet for him is to go to where he's probably wanted. As things stand now, even members of his party have given up on APC. They don't call themselves APC members. They call themselves Kwankwaso, you know. So
Who are the Gandujeas?
that is also important. I think one of the callers was saying that the supporters of the two of them have made things worse. I agree absolutely. There are some supporters of the governor who have made a habit of abusing Kwankwaso.
Yeah.
And people are saying the governor has refused to call them to order. People like Ilyasu, you know. So if let me not say if they want to make peace, because I've ruled out the possibility. Knowing Ganduje, knowing Kwankwaso, that is very vindictive, nobody will be able to resolve this conflict.
Like Jesus said, you know, on the other side too, we have a situation whereby some former commissioners that were not reappointed by Ganduje, they have this local radio station where they sponsor program, you know, where they throw all manner of insults at the governor. You know, his own supporters too will not keep quiet. Like the caller said, you know, the supporter of the two gladiators, they are playing a bad role in the. They are the ones that are making it to becoming messier on a daily basis. So until when they are checkmated by their principal, the crisis will go on.
Yeah.
I think in the final round, it is the poor man, the masses that suffer, because what is happening now is a fight between the two of them. It is not how we make Kano better. It is not how we make the life of the less privileged better, the Almajiri in Kano better. It is their own personal selfish interest that is at, and it's very unfortunate.
All right, moving on now. Now, on November the 19th, 2017, Nigeria lost one of its finest statesmen. The late Alex Ekwueme was a nationalist. His death not only shocked those that had personal relationships with him when he was the vice president of the country, it shocked lovers of the Nigerian states. On Monday, dignitaries converged on the International Conference Center in Abuja to pay glowing tributes to a man whose loyalty to his fatherland remained unshakable. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Atiku Abubakar, Shehu Shagari, among others, described him as a true hero. What made Ekwueme different, Wajidi?
I think Ekwueme was a very principled politician. One way to know a principled politician is to look at his trajectory. Ekwueme will only intervene in national matters when he sees that it's absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. And he never played the ethnic champion. No. If he pushed an issue, you need to have a second look at that issue. You see the wisdom in him taking that position. And as a vice president, you can now say that you found him wanting in any area. He was not corrupt. He was not using his position to make thieves millionaires or billionaires. That was why he pained people. Yeah. When President Buhari locked him up at Ikoyi prison at that time and put the president, Shehu Shagari, under house arrest. Because the president who was running the country was probably fitter to stay in the prison.
In that Ikoyi maximum prison.
Yes, than a man who was vice president, who was a vice president who literally played no role in the real sense of the word. Because our constitution does not even give any real
specific defined role.
Yes, so it was painful. But then he recovered from that, and he remained in the PDP. It's just like Sule Lamido. He has not left that party from the first day.
From what I read, I think they can be described as a founding father.
Yeah, and the founding father will remain there. There were many founding fathers of that party who are in APC today. You know, so many of them. But he remained there, and he remained someone of tremendous moral stature. You know, someone that you can never associate him with anything negative. And so what the honor that is being given today in front of this national barrier, I think is thoroughly deserved.
Architect turned lawyer.
Yes, I think we should not forget the pivotal role he played in the formation of G34.
Yes,
you know,
those are roads to Abacha.
A group that stood against Abacha in spite of the dictatorial tendencies that Abacha, you know, were known for in his day. You know, that also led to the formation. He also played a major role in the formation of PDP. Now, for you to know that he was a selfless man, you know, when they were to go for primaries, even after losing to Obasanjo at that time, he remained in PDP. He also ensured that the party won the election. And when the party ran into troubled waters, you know, he was also called upon to be the chairman of the Reconciliation Committee. He did not decline. For a selfish person, he would have declined. What is my own? After all, you people, you know, you caused the whole thing.
Well, sorry, I have this quick caller. His name is Sani from Kano. Thank you for joining us, Sani. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please, can you make your intervention quick?
Thank you very much. My name is Mohammed Sani from Kano.
Okay, go ahead.
And I would like to join you on this little conversation. We have been in Kano for the past 20 years. Okay, thank you. We have been monitoring the political activities in Kano State.
Okay.
And at this juncture, we have to commend the Kano State Police Command for what they have been doing in Kano State.
Okay.
Sincerely speaking, the Police Commissioner of Kano, CP Rabi Yusuf, is very respected police officer.
Okay.
He is there to protect of life of property. Let me categorically, we have been hearing on air. The Kwankwaso faction sent their letter to the Police Commissioner on the 5th of January 2018.
10th.
And their letter was dated on 16th January. But it was received at the police headquarters on the 25th of January. And we that we have been monitoring everything knows that the other side sent their letters earlier on 17th of January. Please, let us be fair to the police commissioner. This police, they have been trying to protect life and property. Please, tell the world the police are doing very well.
Thank you, Sani.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you for the clarification. So now we know, maybe, you know.
So the same man, when he was alive, he told Indigo that, look, individual success will not help us if we want to be reckoned with the Nigerian policy. Let us put our eyes together as a united Indigo. You know, but the only thing I will advise is that we don't have to wait until when great men like this died before we honor them. Because when they died, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, they'll be sending all manner of statements to press houses. You know, they won't be putting pressure on the editors that, look, you must use my own message. We don't have to wait until when we have great men like this. Let us honor them when they are alive. I think they will value it more than when they die. Because whatever honor we are doing to him, you know, he can't see it again. And there is nothing is too big to do for a man who did so much for the country.
For me, Dr. Alexander Ifeanyichukwu Ekwueme was the most decent, if ever there was a decent man in Nigeria's political firmament, it was Dr. Ekwueme. I mean, there is nothing you can pick against him that this, at least at this time, this man did this. People like that don't come again. It's very, very unfortunate. You know, it has happened. And just like Wahid said, it's unfortunate that it is when they died, even those who contributed greatly to the man's death, we issue statements and send it to newspaper houses and even put pressure on journalists that please make sure my statement was used. This
is the height of hypocrisy.
I mean, but if ever there was a decent man.
One thing we want to draw out here is consistency.
Since
1999, Ekwueme has never joined any association or any other political party.
All for betterment
he
of
formed,
Nigeria.
He was part of the founding fathers and he died
a
member of the People's
Democratic Party. It's not the only one. Sule Lamido has remained in that party. In fact, he built an estate in Duse and named it after the founding fathers of the PDP. So he still remains highly nostalgic about the PDP. So I do not see him leaving the PDP.
We'll leave it there. Thank you. I want to thank you, Olayinka Oyebile. Thank you for this edition, and thank you, Wahid Bakari and Babajide Kolade Otitoju. And that's all on Journalist Hangouts. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11, and also watch Journalist Hangouts on all the platforms showing on the screen. And on YouTube, that's youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Usubakun. Bye for now. God bless Nigeria.